So I'm really excited to have my next guest on today. His name is Dan, and he started a business from the Wirral, and it is called Hypa. I won't say too much because I'll obviously let him speak. So welcome, Dan, to Blank Canvas Podcast. Really excited to have you on today.
Yeah, thank
So
you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good. So for the audience, obviously, I know a little bit about you, but obviously if you want to just say a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, so Hypa began 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I worked for a very large pool and spa manufacturer. I decided to, I wanted to give it a try myself. Always wanted to own my own business. So I left that company to do it. Obviously assuming I'd be a millionaire in a week. Didn't quite work out like that.
Yeah, that's a disillusion that people think, don't they? Yeah, I'm going to set up a business and it'll be a millionaire in 12 months.
Yeah. So I'd always been with high-end products, very high-end. So I wanted to stay at that level. And happened to find a partner in Spain, a manufacturer who do incredibly high-end spas. And that's it. We began a partnership 10 years ago and we're still going strong.
Okay, so 10 years is a long time then.
Yeah.
And take us back to the initial journey then of you going into working for yourself. What was that like at that time?
It wasn't scary in that I don't think I knew enough about it to be scared. As I say, I just assumed, well, I'm so good at what I do. I've been in the industry already for like 15 years. So I thought, oh, this will be easy. It'll be an easy change. But when everything is suddenly on you and then all your bills and everything else, you suddenly think, this is really tough.
Yeah.
But what I would say is what I did wrong at the beginning is I just took everything myself. It didn't occur to me to get mentors. It didn't occur to me to network. I just assumed that it would all come to me. So obviously, once I've got the first year of constant mistakes and everything out the way, that's when I feel like I actually became a bit more of a business mind, really, because I was just so naive going into it.
Yeah.
And obviously that's how we met and everything started going to.
God, was it that? It was quite a long time ago now, actually, wasn't it?
Long time ago, yeah.
So yeah, for the audience that don't know, listening, we met through John Haines, which was many moons ago. God, it is actually probably a long time ago now. And John, for people that don't know, was a mentor to me, obviously, and he was a mentor to you. He was an amazing guy, John. I absolutely adored him, to be honest. And there was many times where I would pick up the phone, especially when I lost my mum during lockdown. He was straight on the phone to ring me and was like, are you okay? And just constantly checking in with us, even though at that time, which we didn't know of, he was going through his own battles, which was quite sad, but was interesting. So do you think going back to obviously taking that leap and going to get sort of mentorship, would you say that's a crucial part for anybody that's setting up in business or in business?
I would say so. I mean, John Haines, he's like an exceptional person. And again, so I would have a bad day.
Yeah.
Then we would go to John's class of an evening and you'd always come away feeling better about yourself, feeling better about the business. Obviously, nothing's technically changed. You're still in the same sort of, you still got the same issues, but having someone around you who's been there and done it, who can say, look, this is how it's going to be. What did you expect? And of course, I did expect that it would just go straight up and we'd all make lots of money.
Yeah.
But getting around someone like John, who's...
he did hold you accountable, I think, John, as well.
Absolutely.
He was, he didn't sugarcoat anything for sure. No, what was your favourite thing about John, or favourite, session, or whatever you want to say? What was your...
I'd definitely say just how he made you feel. Like you could go in having the worst day.
Yeah.
And just his personality and everything. And as you say, that a lot of that, he was going through a tough time himself.
Yeah.
But and what was interesting for me is once he passed away, you talk to a lot of people, everyone said the same about him. What an incredible person, how much he'd helped them. And it's only after he'd gone, really, that I realised what an impact he'd had on so many people. And that inspires you. You think you want to be that type of person, be someone who, everyone looks at and thinks, he had issues, or, he had his own struggles, but he just wanted to help people, wanted to make you better.
Yeah.
And yeah, just unbelievable person.
He was a genuine guy, and I remember his funeral, to be honest. And there was, when he came down, because it was in Liverpool city centre, and there was people clapping because it was locked down, and people were clapping along the street that had come out. They'd come out from Costa, which is on the corner of Old Hall Street, and people were all clapping, if you remember. And it was like, wow, it was just because you were, we went, I was thinking you were there because I was standing with Brian, I remember, and then I'd met you there as well, and it was it was a sad time, but also a happy thing in a weird way, because he, like you say, he helped so many people. And I always remember the one thing, I'm going to try and get it right now. He used to say to us, if you remember, what your business card is, your legacy, is it? What do you want it to say on your business cards about you and what your legacy is? And that's why I ultimately, I mean, I've wanted to do this for a very long time, the pods, because like I would like to help as many people I can, inspire them, motivate them and stuff. And, you know, there's only so many people you can reach, obviously, but obviously this is why I wanted the podcast side of things. But yeah, I always remember that. He always said, what do you want your business card to be? And I used to think, that's an interesting, because you just put your name on it, your number, and you think, well, what is the you? You know, like obviously you've said a little bit about yourself and the business. So, you know, what would you describe you as a person? What is it you like to do? Your hobbies outside of business, which keep you sane, because we all need to have hobbies or do things.
It certainly changes when you have a kid. Yeah. So before I had my son, I had a very particular way of working. And certainly when I started, I did way too many hours. But I just thought, well, you just work, and then it'll all come. And then, I had a son, and it changed everything for me. It changes because all of a sudden, instead of just thinking, right, well, if I just work 18 hours a day, it's going to bring more money in, I'm going to be happier. You'd start thinking, right, but what's it going to mean for him? What is my working and my schedule going to do, and how it is going to affect him? So if you ask me 10 years ago and you ask me now, I think I'm a completely different person, in that my priorities just became him then. So now, and we are in a good position, but I would much rather work less, earn less money, but spend more time with my son. So, and before he came along, no, it was just work. Yeah. You're sacrificing nights out and holidays because you think, no, I've got to work. And so I'm certainly not the same type of business owner now. It's crazy what it does to you.
Yeah, it is. It's because it's such a massive change, as you say, in your life. It's such a, you know, a big, as you said, totally two different sides to you, and you've gone, you know, a different way in your business. Do you think that from productive wise and your business, you've just mentioned obviously you take less money and you'd rather be more happier, do you think though, I mean, I know you're saying that, but I'm asking the question, do you think your business still thrives better because you're in a more happier space within yourself and looking, you know, like your priority is your son? Because I know you can take less money, but in some businesses, the reason why I'm asking, some businesses actually thrive more when they take the step back and they're not so involved in the business and they're doing the 18-hour days. And when you're sort of in alignment with yourself and you're like actually in a more calmer state, your business does flourish. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, so, and it comes down to sort of happiness. If you're in a really thriving business and you're bringing in lots of money, but you're a very unhappy person, which can happen. Then that's no good to anyone. I personally don't think. And I've hit that spot plenty of times before. That were before my son, I thought, well, you know, I'm stressed and I'm not particularly happy with things, but we're earning good money. And I thought that's just what being a businessman's all about. You sacrifice all that. Don't worry about happiness. That will come later on. And then you reach a point where you think, what are you doing all this for? What are you doing everything for? Why do I want to be stressed just so I can have a new car or something?
Exactly,
So again, that's what my son helped bring out in me. I suddenly thought, you know what, I want to be the best dad I can possibly be. And in order to do that, I've got to be happy. So if it means a few less hours, a bit less money, but a happier person. And then what I found as well, which again, likes of John helped me with, when you're happier, more things come to you anyway. If you're stressed out your mind and you're not a particularly nice person to be around, it doesn't matter how good you are at business, people will not want to work with you.
100%.
Because they'll think, this guy, is, he's stressed, he's on the edge. What sort of performance am I going to get from him? Whereas when they see you, and I'm the sort of person now who says, do you want to see 4,000 pictures of my kid?
Oh.
But what that does for me,
Yeah.
so if I'm stressed or anything, I'll flick through pictures of, me and my son somewhere, and I'm a different person.
Yeah.
And I think that can then come across to people who you're working with.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And that's why I start, even on my bios and everything, number one is dad.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be. If I don't mind failing as a business owner. That's one thing that you can recover and sort, but you can't fail
100%.
as a dad.
Well,
so
that's it,
why
isn't
for
it?
me
Yeah.
it's number one, dad, and then everything else is second.
Yeah.
And I'll try my best at everything else.
Yeah.
But being a good dad
is number one.
That's number one for me.
I absolutely love that. And I think it's so important for people that are listening to really understand that, because I think when you are so stressed out, like you say, the amount of people that I've spoken to, or of, they've gone, oh, my business isn't going well, or this or that's happening. It's because they're completely out of alignment. They're not happy. And the energy that they're giving off is completely the wrong energy, the completely wrong frequency.
Yeah.
And I do think you have to be happy in yourself before you can be. So they say, I'm trying to think who it was that said it, you've got to be, everyone thinks, like you mentioned, get the car, get the house, and then I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have all this money, and then I'm going to be happy. You have to be happy right now. Like, it's not about these materialistic things. And don't get me wrong, money makes the world go round, and I'm not one to go, oh, money doesn't bring you happiness.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. I think it helps you.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the disillusion everybody has is, oh, I'm going to get all this money and I'm going to be absolutely happy and it's going to sort my problems out. I mean, so many entrepreneurs now, like you've probably, seen them, like big people, they get to multi-million pounds, billionaires, and they're like, I'm depressed. And then they're paying 10, 20 grand to a therapist.
Well, that's it. And obviously we've got clients who you go in and, 10, 12 million pound apartments in London, and you walk in and you think, well, they've got everything.
Yeah.
This person cannot possibly be unhappy.
Yeah.
And then you speak to them. They've got the same issues you've got. They've got the same worries, the same problems. They just want to be happy.
Yeah.
They've got 100 times more money, but the same problems. So one of my old bosses used to say, we're all poor, just at different levels.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
you can be a multi-millionaire and it's still not enough. You think, okay, but how do I become a billionaire?
Yeah.
And so those stresses and the worries and everything don't go away with money. So you've got to be careful. Whereas you can be, you're right. You need a certain amount of money to obviously pay your way.
Pay your way, yeah.
But other than that, you've got to be happy. And I think when I think about like my dad, I don't look back now and think the things we didn't have. You just think about the person, don't you?
100%.
You miss the person. You don't think, oh, I wish we had better cars.
That's it.
Or I wish we had. You don't care about any of that.
No, you don't.
You just think, oh, what a what a great person that was, and that's what you miss.
Yeah.
So that's why I say now, if in the next 20, 30 years, I want my son to look at me and say, but what a guy.
Yeah.
What a dad he was. I don't want him to think, oh, look at all the amazing things we had.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want that. I'd rather him think of the person I am. And that's, at one stage as well, being completely honest, I didn't like the person I was becoming. And I think business was sort of doing that, and stress and everything else, because you just think, am I on the right track here for where I want to be personally? And again, I've met some, and you would have met them, some unbelievable business owners, like incredible how good they are, and I don't judge any of them.
No.
There are some people who say, no, you work, and you sacrifice, and they're worth tens of millions.
Yeah.
Amazing. That just can't be me now.
Yeah.
And I will work hard, I really will, and I'll try my best, but it can't overtake my life.
Yeah.
It can't do that now. Not with my son.
No.
It just can't do it.
Do you think that you would have, going back sort of 10 years ago, do you think you'd ever be in that position now and saying that to yourself?
No.
No.
No, not at all. I think, but also had I not had my son, who knows where I'd be?
Yeah.
Maybe I could have a tiny bit more money. I'd be a much more unhappy person.
Grumpier.
Yeah, I would be. I can imagine it. I can see it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just not even worth thinking about sometimes, is it, I guess? But you're so true with what you just said then in relation to what you remember your dad for. Like, I say this to people now because it's the keeping up with the Joneses and, you know, that mentality. Everything's Instagrammable, social media, everyone's got things and items. And I like to buy people gifts that are experiences. Yeah. So take them away, take them to a theatre or a show or, you know, take them on holiday. I just don't like buying items. Don't get me wrong, I do get some bits of things, but generally I think you need to have an experience, because I don't remember the items I got for the one item, actually, I tell a lie, I think I was about 8 and I was obsessed with whales, and my mum adopted me a whale in Vancouver. And it was dead funny, like she pretended like she'd put the thing through the mailbox on Christmas Day. She's like, I've just heard that, like, you know, like what is it, not the mailbox, I'm sounding American, what is it, you know what I mean?
The letterbox.
The letterbox, yeah. And I was like, oh, and then it was on the floor, and it was like a box with like a bit of a padded envelope with all this stuff. And that's the one thing, because I was obsessed with whales, but everything else, like toys or whatever, you don't really remember. Not even like really, it's just items. You don't, as you say, you don't remember like what cars they drove or whether they had the latest things. Like, we didn't really have money growing up. I don't remember us not really having money. You know, that's a mad thing. We didn't. Like, you know, but now it's just totally the opposite thing. How do you deal with that then with your son? Because obviously you're obviously rather successful. Your business is still doing very well. How do you deal with that with your son? Are you like, give him everything, or how do you balance it all?
I think like every other parent, it's just an ongoing mental battle with yourself, because I always think we didn't have an awful lot, so I want him to have more. But then it can't be expected. And again, I know people who throw stuff at their kids, and I don't judge anything, because it's lovely to give your kids what you didn't have. But I do think it's a constant battle of thinking, right, well, I don't want him to just say, right, Daddy, where's this next thing? You know, it's a Saturday now, Daddy, I'm getting this present or getting this. What's the next treat? And so that's something I'm constantly worried about.
Because it is a difficult one, because as you say then, the treats, we used to get stuff at Easter, obviously Christmas, birthdays. I remember you got your Easter clothes. I don't know if that was just a Scouse thing. Did you ever get like Easter clothes? So like, I always remember like the clothing time was Easter. You know, we didn't go shopping every weekend for new clothes or anything like that. So it is a difficult one, because obviously I think our era of growing up was like that. And then now you're like, oh, well, I didn't have it, but I want them to all have it. And it is obviously a difficult battle for you to...
Yeah, and it doesn't help me that, again, a lot of my clients, you know, I'll go to theirs and you're blown away by what they've got and everything. And then I sort of come away thinking, God, my kid's got nothing, you know. But again, it's... you can only be... you can only try your best. So I have no idea whether
there's no rule
I'm
book
a good dad or not. No idea.
I'm sure you are. I'm
sure deep down, you know, I work hard for him and everything else, and I try and promote the right things and the mentality for him. But basically, I've got no idea. Where you just hope to God you're doing the best you possibly can, and you hope you're coming across well. Me personally, I think throwing everything at him and saying, you know, this is all yours, you can do everything, I wouldn't like that. I'd like him to think, okay, well, I need to work hard. And at times I'm not going to get what I want. And sometimes I say things, I say, well, you know, that's life. And sometimes you'll go, well, it's tough, you know, that's how it is. But I like that sort of thing. I want him to know things can be tough.
Well, they've got to. I think it's a key skill for them to learn when they are older, because, ultimately, they're not always going to be, parents aren't always going to be there. Obviously, you've lost your dad, haven't you? And it's quite a difficult thing to go through. And, you're not, like, touch wood, obviously going to be there for a very long time. But ultimately, there'll become times where he's in work and he's working and he's coming up with a difficult situation. They need to be able to cope with that.
Absolutely,
and understand it. So I think people need to understand that they've got to go through every element of not getting certain things, or boredom is a key one. Kids need to be bored. Don't get me on that. That's another podcast for another day. But kids need to be bored, to get the creativity and the ideas flowing and stuff. And ultimately, like that, there is, as I said earlier, there's no rule book, and that's just how it is. I think it's one for us. Obviously, we know doing John's course, we know the first 7 years of our life is the most important, and is our wiring, is the wiring of how we are now. So going back to that, do you think your childhood and your upbringing is being like a key driver? We don't have to go too much into your childhood, but like, do you think it was probably a key driver of how driven and the reason why you've always wanted to work for yourself?
I would, if I'm being honest, I would say no.
Really?
Yeah, I would say no. There's a lot of things that have happened to me that I've been quite lucky, and I've actually thought, that was lucky. That wasn't really skill or ability. So we grew up with a great dad, but we didn't grow up with a mum.
Yeah.
So there's certain skills that we probably didn't learn.
Yeah.
So we grew up quite tough, because it was just, you fall over, your dad goes, get up. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you, get up. Okay, we weren't touchy-feely, we weren't huggy, we weren't that type of family, really, because it was my dad raising 3 kids.
Yeah.
And it was very tough. It was very tough.
That would make you very resilient.
Yeah, and I think maybe there was things like that I've probably shaped the way I am. But on the possibly negative side, maybe sometimes I'm a bit too much. My son will say, "Well, can I have this?" And I'm like, "No, this," because I'm too much that way. Whereas, because you
haven't got the nurture side. You mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you probably lack certain skills. So it's just finding that balance, isn't it, constantly? But yeah, in terms of what I learned as a kid, I think just growing up in poor neighborhoods, but your friends were poor and everything, and I don't know why, but from a very, very early age, I knew I didn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I couldn't have. Again, I was quite lucky because I had an older brother he's amazing. I love him to bits, but he had a very difficult childhood. So I saw what he was going through, and him as like a big brother.
Yeah,
obviously. He guards me from a lot of that, so I was quite lucky in that. But I just knew it. I didn't want that to be the rest of my life, really. So I think that drove me into thinking, right, you've got to do something, because this is what you'll become. Just look around you, look at your friends, look at their parents, look at, there was whether it was drugs, alcohol, whatever it was, you looked around you.
Yeah.
And that's the same as, millions of kids up and down the country. You've got to look around you. And I just thought, I can't have this. No. I don't know what it's going to take, and I haven't really got any particular skill or ability, but this can't be me. Yeah. And so that definitely drove me.
Yeah, and I think you're right. There are so many kids out there. I've mentored quite a lot of children, 14 to 16-year-olds that are probably in a similar situation to you growing up, and I always say to them, this isn't your last chapter. You can write your story however you want to write it.
Yeah, it's important to get that across, because you can, if all your mates are the same and all their parents are the same and all your schools are the same, I can absolutely understand why kids grow up and think, well, there's nothing. Yeah, this is just going to be me forever. And you need good mentors, you need good, solid teachers. Yeah.
Did you have good teachers, or was there anyone at that age that encouraged you?
I don't know about that age, but certainly secondary school. Again, and that's where you think, you just want to be cool, you just want to be liked, and you want the girls to fancy and all the rest of it, and you need good, solid teachers around you. And I definitely had a couple of them who were terrifying. But looking back now,
It's
they
a
were
blessing.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable. So, yeah, and you need it, because I think it's too easy for kids to fall into the trap of just, well, this is me forever.
That's
because look at the estate I'm in, or look at my friends, this is me.
Yeah.
You got to get out of it. You got to make somehow a conscious decision to get out of it.
I think you have got to make that conscious decision for yourself. What would you say to somebody if there is listening? Because we do have some young people that do listen. That if somebody is sort of in, like, you know, that 17, 18-year age bracket, what would you say to them? Is there anything you would say to that person to sort of get out of the situation that they're in? Because sometimes that dark hole, like we've say, the dark nights of the soul, it can be quite heavy and quite, how am I getting out of this?
Yeah, and it can put you under immense pressure, I think, as well. So when you're young, you've got enough going on in your mind, so you're not thinking about the future too much. But again, you've got to get the right people around you. I think if you're sitting there and your friends are talking about, you know, drinking and drugs and stuff like that, and you have a feeling, don't you?
Yeah.
And you think, do you know what? That's not me, that really. Mate, I won't say it because I don't want my friends to think I'm not cool. But if you've got it in you and you really think, do you know what? That's not me, that. Then you've got to do something. You've got to find someone, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, or a friend or a mentor or something. Get someone around you. Get people around you.
Yeah.
Who think, no, we want more. And again, I've got friends who have known my entire life, and there's friends who I grew up with who you go your separate ways.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, again, I don't judge any of them, but I couldn't stay with that.
Yeah.
Because I knew what was going to happen, because I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it with my family, I saw it with my brother, I saw it with my sister. I saw everything that was coming. So I was quite lucky to be the youngest.
Yeah, I think you are lucky and blessed, I think, but you've also done a lot for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think you should give yourself credit for making that decision. So I know you've mentioned, you keep saying you're lucky. There is a small percentage of that, but ultimately you've done it for yourself.
Yeah, you've got to do it
you've got to do it yourself. And I do think anyone, like I mentioned earlier before we started filming, like I say, you're not a tree, you're not stuck. You just need to make a plan to get you from where you need to go. Yeah. And it is it's a strange one, because at that time when people are really experiencing low periods, they're like, oh, I can't see the light through the tunnel. And you're like, you've just got to keep going. I think it's a key thing you said there, was surrounding yourself with people that do encourage you or can give you that support.
Well, when we were in Liverpool, you know, with John and Evan, even if you put John to one side, we all had different businesses, totally different industries, but we all had the same problems. We were all worried about the same thing, and how do we grow and all the rest of it. And again, go into that class and we'd have coffees and that later on, wouldn't we?
Coffee and his biscuits and his cake.
Yeah, there'd be like 5 or 6 of us, and you sort of sit in a group saying, right, how do we do this then? How do we improve what we're doing? So then, again, you'd always come away, you'd have like ideas, you'd be buzzing, wouldn't you? Thinking, right, that's it now, tomorrow, I'm going to absolutely smash that. Yeah. And that's because the people around you, because I used to go in there like a broken man sometimes, thinking, you know, I'm not good enough at what
you wouldn't think that though.
Yeah, that's because I was very good at when
masking it.
Yeah, so someone would say, how's business? And again, this is something that I've definitely changed. Every business owner does the same thing. Someone says, how's business? Oh, it's great. You never say, well, business is okay. Yeah. I am struggling though. Yeah. Mentally, I'm struggling. 100%. I don't know what to do next. You never say stuff like that. And I was the world's worst for it till I was maybe 34, 35. And I don't know why I did it. Yeah. Everyone would say, how's things? It's amazing. Of course, it's amazing to me. Because I had such a... It wasn't like an ego either. It wasn't that. I wanted to believe it myself, even though it wasn't true. And again, when you start embracing... I think anyway that you are flawed. I make a million mistakes.
God, no one's perfect. It's a disillusion, perfectionism.
So I make so many mistakes that I then think, well, okay, well that's part of it. You know, I've just got to try and not make the same mistake again. But I think that puts people under a lot of pressure, a lot of business owners, because they just feel obliged, and it's why I can't do generic networking. And again, I'm not slating anyone, I'm not judging anyone.
We're probably similar in that respect.
You go to network meetings,
Yeah.
everyone stands there with the coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, yeah, my business, fantastic. No problems. We are flying.
Yeah.
You know, that is not
100%.
deep down that you're going to have problems. I would much rather be around with someone or be surrounded by people who say, hey, do you know what, Dan? Business is okay. I've got good ideas, but I am struggling with certain things.
Yeah.
And then together you go, oh, okay, I think you could try this. I like to be inspired.
Yeah.
I love people to inspire me. So whether it's a business owner, a friend, family, whatever, I love to be inspired.
Yeah.
So if I was having a conversation with you and I said, Nat, you know what, I've got this idea, and then you sort of say to me, Dan, you can do it. Sometimes all I need is someone to go, you can do this. It's absolutely doable.
I'm pretty sure I've done that many times.
Yeah, exactly. And
so
I love to be inspired by people. I love coming out of a meeting and thinking, right, I can do this. Absolutely. It's going to be tough, but I can do it. And I think that's a proper skill, that if you can have that effect on people and you can turn it round maybe. Then, and again, we keep going back to John, but
I know, this is a dedication to John. We should say this one.
He was better at that than anyone I've ever met. And I used to think I was really good at stuff like that. And, you know, I can inspire. John just found a way of doing it in a.
He just had a natural. That was his natural gift, wasn't it? Like he truly thrived on it. I mean, I do love to help people. Somebody once said to me, "I've got a help problem." Because I just love helping people. And there's reasons, obviously, when you do your inner child and all that therapy stuff, why. But, you know, ultimately, like, I do love to really, truly help people, because I hate to see people do something that they're not happy with, or they're not in the right job or the right career. And I'm just like, you can change. Like, you really can do anything that you set your mind to. And I think it's so important, like what you were saying is, obviously going back to John. I can't speak that. Going back to John, is he just had that natural ability to sort of help you and get inspired and really change your direction. Not necessarily change your direction, but change your direction of thinking of how you thought about things. And so I think this will be just an episode dedicated to John potentially. Yeah,
but again, I think that's. Would you rather be remembered as the guy who had Range Rovers and all Lamborghinis and all that stuff? Or would you rather someone who says, do you know what, that guy helped so many people turn their lives around or turn the business? I would be that guy every time. 100%. I don't care anymore about the things I used to care about. Well, I do. I'd love to have nice things and everything else, but I care more about the effect that I would have on you or the effect I would have on my son. Yeah. Rather than someone going, oh, that's a nice watch he's got, that's a nice car. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
I could not care less now about that. And that's because of people like Sir John, who just helps you see that unless you're making a difference for people, what are you doing? I think as well, a lot, and I can't talk for women, but a lot of men, because I talk to groups and suicide rate's incredibly high. And things like that.
It's now gone, it's massive. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry.
Because the stat I seen that the other day, it used to be 35 and under. It's now jumped to 50. Yeah. Age 50. Yeah. It's like the biggest killer in men.
And it's heartbreaking. And you think, right, I need to talk to these people. I need to find out. And a lot of them, you'd think, oh, they've got nothing and that's why they do it. Yeah. Oh, I'm never going to. That's not the case at all. A lot of these people have got kids, lovely kids. Yeah. They can have a wife at home. Yeah. You can think, okay, they've got it. They've got everything they need. And then they commit suicide. Yeah. And it's because they struggle so much on what am I doing all this for and what am I? And again, that's why. And I don't want to lose track of what I want to be. And I think at one stage I thought to be a businessman. Again, John was quite funny. So when I first started the business, I had a suit on. I went out and got a suit. I went out and got a black BMW because I thought this is what businessmen do. I'm going to look incredible.
Tick in the business book of life.
This is what it's about. Yeah. And I thought everyone's going to love me. I went into a network meeting in Birkenhead and froze completely. in the corner. I was with me coffee thinking, please don't talk to me. I don't know what I'm doing or anything else. And then I went to meet John in Liverpool, and he said, do you normally wear suits? And I said, no. He said, so what are you doing wearing suits then? And in my mind, I just said, but that's what business people do. You know, that's what you're meant to do, isn't it? And then he said, it's not you. I just thought that's what it was all about. And then once I met with John and everything else, he said, no, it's about you. If you're, you know, a jeans and shirt guy, you're a jeans and shirt guy. Yeah. You can still be phenomenal at your job.
Yeah, exactly.
People will want to work with you, but if you keep sort of portraying something that you are not, it comes across. And that's definitely, that's why I've got a problem with networking. Generic networking.
I think networking as a whole, like you said earlier, like honesty is the best policy. People need to just be a bit more honest. Like I just definitely can't lie. Like I am quite a bit of an open book. So it would be good if them networking events you'd get up and you'd stand up and you'd go, right, well, the shit I'm dealing with today or this week, instead of going, hi, my name's Natalie, my name's Dan, and business is great. If they had like a networking event that was more open and honest and a bit more real, I'm pretty sure it would do 10 times better. I think that was one of my many ideas many moons ago, because there was a guy at John Haines's, I can't remember his name. Oh God, old guy, he lived in London but came back up here. He was a financial advisor. What is his name? Had the glasses on. He was a really nice guy. Oh my God, what is his name? It came to me, and I did bash the idea out to him, and he was like, oh, I think that'd be really good. But you know me, down with my many ideas. I have a long list of ventures that I want to do, but it is such a key thing to take away for people, that if you're a bit more honest about where you are with business, because it's so important to not like hide it. And I think I've mentioned it on one of the other episodes, like when I had my bridal shop, like I never had a pot to piss in, because I'd put every penny into it, like tens of thousands of pounds. I had a mortgage. And I was like, okay, I had a plan, which I'd done a business plan and put it all there, but I'd literally pay all the bills. My partner at the time was covering the house bills because I was concentrating on building the business. And I was like, right, I'd sometimes have like £6 left to my name or a fiver. I just weren't getting my hair cut that month, or I'd sacrifice getting my nails done or something like that, because that was like, no, the vision is there. So I was like, I'm working for a year on my own. I can't afford staff. And that was the plan. And then like 5 months in, my relationship ended. And I was like, shit, got a business, got a mortgage. And I threw him out. Anyway, that's another story. But that was like, you know, you don't see that. Everyone was like, oh, she's doing dead well. She's got a bridal shop.
Yeah, of course.
In Oxon Village, that's great. Like she's doing, you know, like, because that's what social media. Now, if somebody asked me, I'm like, oh yeah, as you say, at the time you were doing really, really well. Yeah. And now I look back now, I'm just like, yeah, no, it was a headache. I mean, it done well. Don't get me wrong, eventually, but that was the plan. It takes a while. And I think for business, I think this was John again. Sorry, mic drop with John's name. He'd be singing up there, going, "Oh, they mentioned me again." Yeah. It was John that said, if I remember rightly, 3 years, I mean, obviously it's probably changed now, 3 years it takes for a business to even see anything. Yeah. And when a business is about to turn that corner and then grow, most people fail and quit. Yeah. And I always remember him saying that, and I was thinking, wow, it's so true, because it's literally like a child, a business. You've got to nurture it and keep it going, and it's not like an overnight success thing. And I think any business that's overnight success, if you probably statistically look, they've probably crashed and burned quite quickly. And it's about pivoting and about keep going. Like,
yeah, that's, and again, this is where the business coaches, there's business coaches out there that to look at, you think, incredible, everything's perfect, that you ask them about your business. I've spoken to some over the years, and it sort of paints a picture that if you follow this script, everything's perfect. The best people I've spoken about business to are the people who say, Dan, do you have any idea how hard this is going to be? Yeah. This will push you to the brink. Yeah. That is what I want to hear. Because if I could go back now, if I'd known that at the start, it would have saved me so many mistakes.
Do you think you still would have done it though?
Some of the things I would have done anyway, because I'm like that. I think you do have to take a risk. Yeah. But it's going to be really tough. And when you said about advice for youngsters, the first thing I would say, this is going to be really tough. Even if you're very good at what you do, it doesn't matter. Because if you go into it and think, well, everything's just going to be perfect, it's going to be really tough. You are going to be sitting at home at night. You might be next to someone, or your kids might be in bed, and it is on your mind, how do I keep everyone going?
Yeah.
That will push you to the brink. So that is why, and again, I wanted to quit 1,000 times.
Yeah.
There's no way I could sit here now and go, no, I knew it was all going to work out. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not a chance. Whether that was, again, you're sort of in the day, you're this boss or whatever, and everyone thinks, oh, it must be such a great life. Then come 5 o'clock, everyone went home. You're sat in your car thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. How am I going to keep all this going?
Yeah.
And that's why it will push you to the absolute brink, I think. And that's why, again, I don't judge when people go, no, do you know what? For my sanity, I'm going to go back and work a 9 to 5. I get it. I totally get it, because I wanted to do that 10 times. And this is where maybe just having the right people around you, they'll just go, no, it's doable. But you've just got to accept certain things. Then. Yeah. And it's, but yeah, I don't blame anyone for not owning their own business. It sounds so easy. Oh, just own your business. You're the boss. Yeah. You decide the finance. You decide where we're going. You've always also got to deal with the mental side of it. Yeah. And it is enormous. Then you throw kids into that. Then you throw a husband or a wife or a partner. So that's all got to come into it as well. Yeah. So then you've got all that pressure, and that's, it just you're definitely putting people
off here, Dan. I'm investing. No, I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking.
You've just got to be open.
Real. You've got to be real about it. And I do think, and I think it's quite important. There's many debates on it. Like, I think either you're born an entrepreneur or you're grown into an entrepreneur. Like, you know, there's things that shape you. I think there's some people that are just don't want to work for some other people, and then they look at others and they go, I would love to own this. And there are some people that do need that encouragement and that push to go and work for themselves.
That's right.
But I do think there's some people that are just like, no, I'm absolutely fine working for other people, and I think that's okay. Yeah, and like you say, if you've tried it, you've done it, you've given it a go, and then you go, do you know what, actually it's not really for me. I'm going to go work the 9 to 5 for somebody else. That's not failing. I'd say you were failing if you didn't give it a go. And I think, because the reason why there's a big debate, some people think that everybody can be an entrepreneur, everyone can work for themselves. I'm not 100% on board with that. I think you can, to a point, if you've got the resilience, the mental capacity to do it, and really understanding what it is, and getting a balance. Because are you building a multi-million-pound business? Are you building a lifestyle business which is just going to pay your bills and go on nice holidays? There's many different layers of being an entrepreneur. It's not just, building this £1 million empire. And it was Simon Squibb. I'm putting a big hand up because I got it wrong last time. I don't know if you listened to on Steve's, how you said Simon Pegg instead of Simon Squibb. I really, really do like Simon Squibb, and he said that he believes that everybody can work for themselves, everyone can be an entrepreneur, and obviously he pushes people's dreams and the ideas, and says that everybody can. Do you? What's your opinion now? Do you think everyone can, or?
I would say no. I would say there's certain people who are, and I know people who work for companies and they're unbelievably successful. Yeah. I know people who earn £1 million a year working for companies and they're happy with it. Yeah. So I've had staff over the years, and I know people who've had staff and they've said, no, I want to go my own way. And you say, well, you go and do it then. Yeah. Because when the pressure's on you, and all of this is down to you, and you've got to find ways to make it work. Pay
the wages, pay your tax bill.
It's really tough. Yeah. And it's, again, I sort of what Simon Squibb's saying there, I agree to a certain point that everyone, like you say, can try. And if you've got an idea, absolutely, you go for it. But just know that it is going to be so much harder than you thought it was going to be. Yeah. Because I thought it was going to be hard, but I just didn't realise how hard. Yeah. And that's once, I think your first 2-3 years, it's really tough because you just think, oh, it's not going anywhere, but I'm putting in all this time. And then one day just things do start sort of clicking, and you make a contact here or there, which leads to something else. And you become known for what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, people used to call me Hot Tub Dan. I used to go to network meet, and I used to think, Hot Tub Dan. Do you know who I am? You know, I'm trying to run an empire here, and people call me Hot Tub.
Hot Tub Dan.
But I became known for it because that's what I was good at.
Yeah.
And I sort of leaned into it a bit, and then one day it got to a stage where didn't really know where the customers were coming from. They just were, and they were saying, we've heard you do really good work and all the rest of it. And then it suddenly it starts clicking really. And I think that's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
Because for the first few years you feel a bit beaten up, don't you? And you think, God, what am I doing this for? And you're stressed, and you haven't got the money to show for it. Yeah. So you've got all those.
What is going on here, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, someone send me a universe sign. I'm like, exactly, come on, just throw me a bone here. As the saying would say.
And that's why you just think, oh, should I just go back and work for someone?
But it's so easy to go back, isn't it? It's harder to keep going forward.
Yeah, I think so. And now it's easy to look back and think, oh, I'm glad I stuck it out. But at the time, and if people do go back, I don't judge them at all, because I was that close.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
I was on the brink many times of saying, sod this. Yeah. This is not worth what is happening. It's not worth the effort I'm putting into it. And it just happens. So that's why when I say look, because if someone said, well, what was it then? What was the moment? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. No. Just certain things just fell into place, and that was it. And then again, when my son come along, it changed again then. So I want to do this for the freedom it allows me to have. Yeah. So if I want to take my son out for the day, or if I think, oh, do you know what? I want to walk to school with him in the morning, have a good conversation. Yeah. I don't want to think I've got to be somewhere at exact time and you've got no choice because I do it now for that. I think that's such a rich life though. Yeah, I think so. I think that's such a rich life. Like people say money's rich. Yeah. Having that time with your child and being able to do that is literally priceless in my opinion. I'd rather do that than anything. If I had a meeting and, it was not guaranteed, nothing's guaranteed, but there was good potential there for money, but it meant me missing collecting my son from school or having... so when he goes to bed, we like to have these conversations. He's only 5. I was going to say, how old is he, 5? And of course, he'll ask you every single question in the world. While we're here, Dad, they always ask, like, how is this? Yeah, how does this work? Yeah. I would not give up those conversations for anything. No, exactly. If there was a job that took me away from that and I couldn't have that time, I'm not interested. Yeah. Now, that may... Well, it will definitely mean I'll earn less, 100%. Well, you probably will earn less in that respect, in that instance. But I do believe when you make a conscious decision and you are in alignment and you're in a space where you're really, truly happy, there will be something that comes down further down the line and it fits in with how you are operating. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I don't believe that a missed opportunity, say like that was, and you said no, I would think then a bigger opportunity would come in further down the line. That's how I personally believe. That's what I think, actually. The world works, really. When you make a conscious decision to say no to something, it's like that saying, one door opens and another 10 open. So I do think when you're in that space and you say no to things, there's been things and for our business where we've said no to something. Yeah. And it was very like, I mean, I won't go into too much, but it was quite a not a costly decision, but it could have been. And I just was like, I just think we need to say no to this because I just believe this side there's going to be more things, and we've doubled in revenue by saying no to something over here. Yeah. Because it was draining every single thing. So I do believe, I mean, they all say I'm a witch anyway in the office. No to that site, and then another 10 have come on this side. Yeah. So I do believe when you're in that space, like you're putting your son first, the universe will deliver things to you anyway. Yeah, I think so. And it's, again, I do care to a certain level what people think about me, but anyone can think anything they like about me. They can think, he's a good business guy. He's this, he's that. But I'd love them, and I'd love my son to go, yeah, but he was an amazing dad. Forget about all the rest. He was an amazing dad. Yeah. That is a decision I've made, and I don't want to go back. No. So that is something I've come to terms with. Yeah. So now, if someone says there's this opportunity, the first thing I'm thinking is, how does it affect my son? I don't even know if that's right or not. And this is what I mean about how do you even know you're a good dad? I've got no idea. Yeah, I couldn't write a book and say this is how to be a good dad, because we've all got our different ways. I just know how it affects my thinking now. So I do think, but it could affect my son this. Yeah. And that might make me not go for something that maybe I would have gone for. But I think you're right in the other doors open because of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, in
100%.
fact, there's people who I've met. I was thinking about this the other day. There's people I've met through having my son. He plays football on a Saturday morning, and you meet other dads. Yeah. And a couple of those dads have businesses. A couple of those businesses lend themselves into my business. Yeah. And so things like that happen. And if I didn't have my son, or if I didn't take the time to do these father and son things with him, maybe I wouldn't have met these people, and maybe I wouldn't be looking at opportunities now. Yeah. So I genuinely, hope that doors do open because of it. And I think you've got to be a nice person. Yeah. What I like about anyone, first and foremost, is the world needs nice people. And I know people say, no, you can't be too nice. You absolutely can't be too nice. I'm not saying get walked over. That is a different thing. But first and foremost, be a decent person. Yeah. And then I will want to work with you. Or if it's a partner or something, you can be great looking, you can be this. But if you're not a decent person, you haven't got that in you, I don't want to be around you. Yeah. And I think that's that's
quite an important thing. It's funny, my mum used to say to me, oh, you're too nice, you, Natalie, like in business or when I'd work for other people, I'd always like, and I used to say, but mum, I'm just who I am. And I just think, I mean, there is a point of being too nice and being walked over, but she'd just be like, you need to be more fierce and a bit more ruthless. And I was like, that's just not me. Yeah. It's a no.
But it'll work for you though. Like
each to their own, as I say. But my mum used to be like, oh, because I'd come home and I'd had like a really bad day or something. And she's like, well, you're just too nice. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm too nice. I know Pippa might disagree. Sorry, Pippa's in the background. Pippa's my business partner. But yeah, we have. We're probably, what would we say? We call each other Twit and Twat, to be honest. So that's our nicknames for each other, isn't it? But yeah, I can be a bit. I'm more the, what is it, lenient one, should we say? Am I in the office, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. I'm the positive Polly. That tries to motivate everybody. Yeah. But yeah, I always remember my mum saying that to me. And I was like, all right, mum, whatever.
But no, there's a fine line. But I would not want my son, I would not want me to ever be walked over. You can absolutely be too nice. And again, when I think about my dad, he was just such a great guy. Yeah. But there's things that I don't feel like we're not similar in that sense. Yeah. I think sometimes I'm a bit more arsey than he was. He was just a really nice guy. Yeah. So it's finding that balance. It is finding the balance. The two.
Yeah, it is finding the balance. Obviously, we've mentioned a lot about your son and things, and obviously he's 5 now and stuff like that. And it is amazing. I do think you are an amazing dad. Like I said before, there's no rule book or anything like that. And I just think you've got to if you're doing the right thing at that time and it feels right for you, then that's all you can do. And I just think there's no rule book. Like I interviewed Jessica the other week and she just says there's no script for everyone to follow. Like whether it's in business or family or anything, you've just got to live how you are living for yourself, really. Yeah. And just as long as you're kind, caring and considerate of people's, and ultimately put boundaries up. I think that's the key one. And some people you meet certain people, and like going back to the being too nice thing, there are some people that I'm just not their cup of tea and you're not mine, vice versa. Yeah. And I always say that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You just need to move on, and that's fine.
That's okay, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
No.
And just for your own sort of inner peace, really. Don't surround yourself with people who you're looking at every day thinking, this isn't me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like this.
Yeah.
Go and find people who you connect with.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
who can, and again, you can be in all different industries, but still have an amazing team around you.
Yeah.
Because your ethics are the same and your personalities work well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if you're surrounding yourself with people who you know for a fact you don't want to be, and is just not you, you're never going to be your best
version of yourself, really.
Ever. You can't, can you?
And I think because is it you 1/6 of the people you surround yourself with? So they say statistically, like you take on a bit of each personality of them 1/6 people that you are around.
Yeah.
And as you say, if you've got a negative Nelly in that bunch, you're going to then be negative yourself. You've had it where you've been having a conversation and somebody's talking negative and you're like, oh God, this is draining my battery.
Yeah.
And then you then start talking, or you wasn't
100%.
even depressed 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And now you're like, oh yeah, I feel a bit down.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I mean. I can be inspired, but it can go either way.
Yeah.
So if you're sat around and you're all saying how crap life is and it's miserable and the wife's annoying me and all the rest of it, you can be brought into that.
Yeah.
And then you can walk away from that meeting thinking, yeah, bloody, that's crap. This is rubbish. And it's not.
No, it's
You've
not.
just allowed someone who does not know your life to bring you down, which is why I would much rather have, a group like we had and a person like John. It just goes, look, life is not rubbish.
No,
yes,
it
it may
isn't.
be tough at the moment, but you're going to get there.
Yeah.
You just need to do this, this, and this. And he always said this, this, this.
Yeah.
And he was just absolutely right.
Yeah, he was.
It always comes back to my head. It's not, things are tough.
And things are tough, like you say, because we done obviously during lockdown, we done the Coach Collective. I put that together with all the coaches and we used to have them calls and we'd put it out there to help people during lockdown. And it was ultimately like, we'd say it was rubbish then, but we would turn it around and go, let's do this.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm very much like, there's a problem, but guys, there's a solution here.
Yeah.
It's all right moaning about it. Get it off your chest, fine. But let's see how we can fix it. Don't just stay in that problem mode all the time. And it's like, I say the negative Nellies, don't I? Positive always negative Nellies. And sometimes a negative Nelly can be in that space where they've literally got a problem for every solution. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's the other way around. So it is difficult. But just going back to obviously your business and things and that, is there any, because you've mentioned obviously a lot of high net worth individuals and clients and things, what's like the best project you've ever worked on or like the funnest, like was any funny stories that you can disclose?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked with, some of the clients we've worked with now are, we have celebrity clients who we've done unbelievable projects for. Again, nothing's ever easy. So what we find is, we've got high-end clients who are happy to spend the money, but their expectations are through the roof.
Wow.
So everything has to back that up. There's no point having a great product if your after sales is poor or your marketing is poor. So everything has to be at a certain level. So that puts a lot of pressure on us. But yeah, I mean, we've installed spas, some of the biggest homes in the UK, France, Spain.
Oh, wow.
Some
all over.
unbelievable projects, football clubs and footballers and all the rest of it. And there's a million really. And when it first started, it was me and one of my friends actually. And we didn't have a clue. We were going out, we were installing spas, making 100 mistakes a week. And, when I think about some of the nights of me and him driving to London and things, coming back at midnight to install a bloody hot tub. And I was like, I don't know what the hell I was doing with my time. And he needed someone then to say, the way you use your time is awful.
It's not good.
It's so,
but do you think it was fun times? So when you look back on it, it was a fun journey to get to where you are now.
The best of times, I think. And it's... And well, I still work with him now. I
was going to say, is he still in the company?
Yeah, still a partner now, and love him to bits. And it's, but yeah, some of the funniest times when we made just stupid mistakes, and you look back and you think, what the hell were we doing there?
Literally winging it.
Oh my God, every single day. And it's and because when you first start, the boss.
Yeah.
You're the salesman.
Yeah.
But you're also the person who fits spas.
Yeah.
So I'd turn up one minute at your house.
Different hat on every time.
I'd be smart as anything. You'd go, okay, nice to meet you. And then 6 weeks later, when we've built your spa and we're installing it, you'll see me in ripped shorts, torn to shreds, work boots, and all the rest of it, because I'm the person installing your spa as well.
And I think that's what people don't see. You're literally wearing so many hats.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, I do think back to when I opened my bridal shop, because that was my first business, and it was like sales, marketing. You were then fitting the dresses, like doing the ordering, doing the social media, then messaging everybody, doing your bookkeeping, because you couldn't afford an accountant, building your website because you couldn't afford to pay for somebody to do your website. Now there's bloody AI.
Yeah.
At the time, there wasn't. There was just GoDaddy, and you literally had to do everything yourself pretty much. Yeah. Now AI can build your website in 5 seconds if you get the cheap and cheerful ones. Yeah. And you're like literally doing absolutely everything. Your SEO. So I know a lot now, which I think I'm quite grateful for.
Yeah, because you had to do it all.
Because I had to learn it then. Like, I had a meeting with a few people the other week, and we're putting a networking group together, which won't be stuffy, and it's definitely not like that. Yeah. But there's 4 businesses. We've all come together, all women, and we're putting on a networking event. And basically we were saying that, like, I was like, oh, I love anything to do with analytics and the SEO. And she was like, oh, and I do it on our website, because you just had to learn it years ago. And I'm like to these guys, it's not like I just know it. I had to know it. Yeah. Like, because you couldn't afford to hire people at that time. And that was like, what are we, 12 years ago now? Yeah. That's when I first jumped into the world of...
You are everything though, aren't you? So again, this is the difference between that and a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5, you finish at 5 o'clock. I would finish the sort of day job of the business, selling spas, installing spas. Then I had to come home, do the accounts for the business, do the website, do the marketing for the business. So that 9 to 5 was more like 6 in the morning till midnight. And it was every single day. And again, that's why...
It's bonkers, isn't it? People don't realise.
Oh, it's so... I mean, now, I think it is much easier if you've got, like, some AI and you can say, build me a website or tell me the best way to market my business. I didn't have any of that.
Nothing like that.
So it's... I was relying on myself, really. But, yeah, again, it's... I think people are younger and much younger now starting businesses because it's they've got these ideas. And
they've got ideas, and there's so many more resources out there, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah. And I think, so when you're saying before about sort of encourage people to be an entrepreneur, I think now a hell of a lot more people could do it because you've got so much help, even if you don't particularly know what you're doing. Yeah. AI will probably sort the majority out for you. Yeah. And then I think as well, though, you've got to, you just figure stuff out as you go. So I still make mistakes now after 10 years. And I don't mind that at all. I like to take a few risks now and again. I think you've got to be like that and you've got to go for things. Yeah. And if it doesn't work out, I'm just much better now going, okay, didn't work
Accepting
out.
It.
I probably could have been better if I'm honest. Yeah. I don't like to think, well, it was his fault or it was that company's fault or it was the customer's fault. What I know for a fact I'm very good at is thinking, I probably could have been better there. Yeah. I could have done that better. So next time we'll put something in place that'll just stop that happening. And I think that's all you can do. Yeah. That is all you can do.
I think it's a key thing, though, that you just said is taking ownership and knowing that you actually don't blame the customer, don't blame this. Like, let's look at it, let's learn from it, let's move on from it and identify what it is. And I think, as I say, life's not linear. It's a roller coaster. You're going to have your ups and downs, and that's just life. I think
customers prefer that. They know, especially if you're dealing with businesses and, people who've been successful. Yeah. They don't want to be not lied to, but they
don't want the BS.
Yeah, they don't need it's all bloody rainbows.
Sunshine and rainbows.
They don't need it because they know. So you just be honest. If something doesn't work out, you say, look, this has happened. Yeah. There could be, a delay or something. It's not quite what we wanted, but we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
That's all they want to know. They don't mind if things go wrong. They don't mind.
Yeah.
They want to know. Okay, well, what are we going to do about it? And it's that's what, again, when it first started, you're terrified. Oh, you can't tell the customer.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you can actually, because things happen. We're all human.
Yeah.
So if you make
we're
a
not
mistake,
AI robots just yet.
yeah. So if you make a mistake and it affects a lead time or affects a customer, just be open and just come out and say, look, I've made a mistake there. Whereas the beginning, you're just terrified. You think,
are
no
terrified.
way can you tell the customer?
Yeah.
So you're thinking of ways to sort of get around it. And then people know you. That's what you're doing anyway.
Yeah.
They go, listen, just tell me.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, you learn all this, and if one day my son wants to start his own business and everything, I can't wait for that sort of conversation.
Yeah.
But the first thing I'll be saying is, you better realise how hard this is going to be.
What do you think? Has he give you an inkling? Obviously, I know he's only 5, but kids have dreams at any age, I believe. So, is there anything he's into at the moment that he absolutely loves, and you think, oh?
I think he's much more creative than I was, and I think he gets that from his mum, must be. But he's very much, I want him to love football.
Yeah.
And I want him to love golf, because that's what I love.
Is that what you love?
But then this is how strange I think sometimes. I think, well, I loved football when I was a kid, but I was an idiot when I was a kid. So, if my son says, Dad, I don't like football, really, I'm not going to go, well, tough, I play football, so you're going to play. Because I think, well, I don't particularly want him to be how I was when I was a kid. I was an idiot kid.
Yeah.
So
I'm into rugby instead.
more gentlemanly stuff.
Yeah.
But he's into everything, and I think it'll be more creative stuff.
Creative
really, when some of the conversations we have, I just think, where's this coming from? I have no idea. Our 5-year-old's asking me things like that.
You just got to keep nurturing that side of him then, and just
and again, whatever he wants to do, really, it's I don't particularly need him to follow in my footsteps, and but whatever he does, and we always say the same thing about how you are. First of all, be a good person. First and foremost, be a good person, and then other things will come. But he's incredibly creative.
Oh, that's nice. Maybe he might design the spas.
Maybe.
Or design. Yeah, you never know. He might follow in your footsteps, but in a slightly different way.
Might
go to the design element.
And again, you never know where technology is going to be, and
this is it, isn't
what
it?
These kids are going into now, because when we were younger, especially when I was like 13, 14, and you start thinking, right, what do I want to do? Trades or things like that. Now, I think kids see people on Instagram, teenagers making millions.
Yeah.
They must feel the pressure to think, well, I just want to do that now. I just want to, whereas when I was at 18, there's no way we were thinking, I'll go and make millions out of
out of Instagram, out of social. It wasn't a thing, was it, though?
Things,
so
it
wasn't.
It must
the landscape will be different.
It's completely different now, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say worrying, because I don't like to put negative words out there, but it is a bit. I just think, see how it goes. I think with the AI revolution and digital and technology, I think there will be. My belief is there'll be 50-50. I think there'll be the techies that go in all in, and then there'll be the other side that actually want real connection with real people. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be as negative in that respect. I don't think we're going to be taken over completely by AI.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be an element of it, but I do think, like, when you're watching stuff, people will connect more with actual real people.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping more people will get outside and in nature, not so much stuck on the phones, because they will be like, I don't even know whether I'm watching a real video, so I'd rather get outside in nature and speak to a human being. Yeah. That's my hope anyway.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad we're product-based, so a physical product, because AI can do whatever it wants, but it can't make a marble spa. So
that is true. That is true. So you're happy with yours. Yeah. So you see the business growing and growing. Is there anything that, aside from obviously going into your business now, was there anything when you were younger that you actually thought, oh, I'd love to do this? Was there anything?
Always an
astronaut, or
always
whatever?
a gym.
Oh, always in the gym.
Diamond gyms.
Oh, diamond gyms.
I designed my first logo. I must have been 8 or 9. I set out how it was going to be. So it was always diamond gyms.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, when I was maybe 9, come up with a bar idea called the Shark Pool.
Oh, okay.
Shark Pool, kid.
Shark Pool.
And it was going to be pool tables and everything.
Yeah.
And that's, we were always different. We were always
so
different.
You've always had that creative. So you're saying your son's getting your creative element from his mum, which he probably does, but you're very creative. That is being creative.
Yeah.
People think creative is drawing something or being like, but that is you come up with things.
Yeah.
So that is a very creative
so when we were
element.
young, it was more schemes. It was sort of like, right, how can we make a bit of money?
Yeah.
But me and my brother, we were very much like that.
Yeah.
We'd always come up with ways to sort of get our friends to give us money. So, we'd build like an obstacle course in the back garden and then charge our mates to have a go at it and stuff like that. And that's just how we were. But that's how I know I was always a bit different. I never used to think, I'll just work for a big company. I always thought, no, I want to do my own thing.
Yeah.
So it was gyms first, then bars. So how I ended up in spas, I have absolutely no idea. But
it's doing well, and then that's
absolutely,
you're continuing in that, and you do enjoy it.
It's a great lifestyle industry, an amazing industry to be in.
Oh, that's good, and it gives you the freedom, flexibility to have that life now that you've got with your son, which is amazing.
Dad and lad days,
Dad and lad days, I love that.
We love it.
So we've obviously gone through a lot of things there and a lot of take homes for a lot of people that are listening that are either wanting to change career, set up for themselves. But if there's anyone that's out there listening, let's just say they've got this dream, this idea, and maybe they wanted to set their own gym up or go into spas or whatever it is, what's the one key thing you would say to them right now if they're in the 9 to 5 and they've got that mortgage and they're like, oh, I really want to take that jump? What would you say to them?
I would say speak to someone who's done it.
Yeah.
First, because blindly going into it can take years off. Well, I felt like the first 3 years was like a blur because I had no clue. So just find someone who's already done what you're trying to do and just say, what do you think?
Yeah.
I was rubbish at that. I would have been terrible at coming to you to say, look, I want to do this, but I don't really know how, because I would have wanted you to think Dan's the man.
Yeah.
He knows everything. He'll make this amazing. I would absolutely say, forget about your ego, forget about anything. Go up to someone who you think is where you want to be and say, how would you go about this?
Yeah.
And I guarantee they will give you 5, 6 things. Don't do this. Don't do that.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Honestly, that can save you time. It can save you money. It can save you stress. And I didn't do it. I was rubbish at asking for help. But just ask people who've done it, and people want to help you.
That's the scariest thing. We believe in our own heads. No one wants to help, and everybody wants to help. Once you put yourself out there, like I said before, I love to help people. So I love when someone says, "I've got this idea."
Oh, it's
like
amazing, I love talking about business.
Yeah, I was in the pub the other day in the show in Oxton, and these girls sat next to us, and like one of them had like a bikini, like she was doing bits and selling like bikinis. She was absolutely stunning. And then for whatever reason, she stopped. I won't go into it in case she does listen to it, her ex-partners. But I was like, you need to start it again. And she was showing me bits. And I was like, I was dead excited. And the other girl that was with her, I was like, guys. And then I ended up exchanging numbers. And then a text from them was like, don't forget to follow your dreams, kids. You know, like, and it just, I buzz off it, I think is the right one to say. But I do think, people are open to helping other people. So I think that's just an amazing ask, definitely.
Just ask, and it'll save you years.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Well, I absolutely love that, and it is an amazing thing to come as conclude the end of the show. But there is one thing I do ask everybody is to write in my book, which Pippa did mention looks like, what did you say? Was it Harry Hocus Pocus book? I know I said I was a witch before, but I'm not. This is not a spell book. It's just a book, basically. It's whether you want to put your favourite quote in or a little bit of piece of advice you can pass on to the next guest, and then they can read it. So you can fill that in a second. But obviously, if anybody is listening that wants to get in touch with you. Obviously, we can put your details in.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I know you mentioned, obviously, you've got your business, but you did mention stuff to do with mentoring. Are you doing anything like that at the moment?
Yeah.
With businesses and men and stuff?
Yeah. And that's something as well that I would say. So, and this can be men who are struggling, because I've been through it all myself.
Yeah.
And especially if someone's sort of got their own business but just doesn't know where it's going, and it just can't get the head around it, and are going home and putting on a brave face for the wives, for the kids. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I've absolutely been there, and then are broken when they're on their own. I've been there.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've started anyway, but we want to increase more and more, is just helping any business owners who just need a little push, a bit of advice,
Can be lonely
someone
on your
who's
own.
done it.
It can be lonely on your own, is it?
It's the loneliest thing I think you'll ever do.
And that's what I don't think, and that's why I was excited to get the networking thing going. And is what I mentioned years ago at John Haines' course to one of them guys, is it's so lonely and people don't actually realise. I mean, I'm lucky there's two of us in one of another business, and we've both got each other, whereas when you're doing it on your own, it's so lonely, and you're like going, oh God, all these thoughts and things going in my head.
Horrendous.
And they're normal. I say to people, they are quite normal, but in the time you're like, oh God, I'm going insane, or like, am I doing the right thing? I've done, and all this stuff goes on in your head. And it's like, you look at someone else going, oh, but they're doing so well.
Yeah.
Everyone has them
They've got
thoughts.
exactly the
and
same
it's exactly,
problems.
like you said, exactly the same problems.
Yeah.
So I think it's an amazing thing that you're definitely doing, because I think there's so much pressure put on men. I know there's a lot of pressure put on women. I'm not discarding women at all. But I think there's such a massive pressure on men that is not spoken about, because they are meant to be keeping it all together, providing for the family, doing everything. And like, it's like, and then obviously sometimes now the wife comes in and the nagging if they're working, and it's hard on the wife. But I do think there's so much pressure and unseen that men are just meant to have it all together. They don't cry, or they don't let out their emotions, and it's quite a difficult.
They're judged in a certain way, and again, so if they commit suicide, there's always the side of people that go, that's selfish. That's a selfish thing to do.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is at all.
No.
I think everybody can come to that point where they think, right, those kids or the wife or people will be better off without me.
Yeah.
That could have been stopped with a conversation, just saying, look, I need help. I'm not quite achieving what I thought I was. That will eat away at you.
Yeah.
So this is why it's so important just to get around the right people who won't sugarcoat it for you. Like John Haines never once said to me, you're going to be a megastar.
No.
Never.
No.
He just basically said, stop your moaning.
Yeah.
You do this, you do that, you do that, and maybe you'll make it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Never ever said you're going to be bloody amazing. Never.
Yeah.
But that's what I needed to hear. Okay, I can do it then.
Yeah.
And okay, I'll get over these little things. If you've got no one around you, you'll spiral.
Yeah. And it's a lonely thing in your own head.
Oh, horrendous.
It's a scary place. I've been there. Yeah. It's not nice.
It takes a lot of... And your willpower alone, or I can only speak for myself, it wouldn't have been enough. Yeah. Wouldn't have been enough for me. I'm not good enough to do that on my own. I needed people to say, listen.
I don't think any business is being built on their own. I think you don't realise how many people are around that. I think you do need teams and help. Like, we're most certainly not building our property company alone. We've got a team, and it's a boss team. To say that it's just us two, we wouldn't do it without other people.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do think people go, I'm a self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
You're not really, are you? Unless you can prove to me otherwise.
I certainly couldn't say it. I could never say anything like that.
No, definitely not.
Because I wanted to quit 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So
and I think that's amazing. I'm hoping people will listen to that and go, if they're at that point now where they wanted to quit, and that will inspire them to go, oh, actually, do you know what? Yeah. I'm all right for thinking this, but I'm going to keep going, and that's it.
It's totally natural.
I'm honestly absolutely loved having this conversation. So thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much for coming on. And obviously you can write in the book in a second, and then if there's if they put details in of people to contact you, that would be amazing. Obviously, we'll put it all in the show notes.
No, brilliant. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Again, thank you for listening to another episode of Blank Canvas. Really do appreciate everybody's support. If you could like and subscribe and share this episode to anyone you feel would benefit from any of the topics that we spoke about. And again, really appreciate all of your support so far. Thank you.